Good day. Welcome again to my class. We are to discuss evaluating and making judgments from our Pivot for a Learner's Material English 10 Quarter 1. I know that you are all excited to learn new things today. I am Dr. Jan-Ann-Rey Consignado, your subject teacher. I hope you have your notebook, paper, pen, and of course, our very own module. The learning objective. So at the end of the lesson, you are expected to establish a sense of objectivity in evaluating a picture, text, and or performance using a set of criteria. Now, let us consult Merriam-Webster. What is the meaning of judgment? Judgment is a noun. And the first meaning of this is the process of forming an opinion or evaluation by discerning and comparing. This is an opinion or estimate so formed. Number two, the capacity for judging. Another meaning under number two, the exercise of this capacity. Number three, a formal utterance of an authoritative opinion. And an opinion so pronounced. Number four, a formal decision given by a court. We also have an obligation created by the decree of a court. Another one, a certificate evidencing such a decree. Number five, the final judging of humankind by God. So this is capitalized. And another one, under number five, we have a divine sentence or decision. And last, we have number six, a proposition stating something believed or asserted. So these are the meanings of judgment. Now, evaluating a text or performance has always been subjective in its very sense. Subjectivity in giving judgment has always been an issue in terms of fairness. In addressing this concern, criteria have been helpful tools in establishing objectivity in evaluating a text or performance. Simply, objectivity allows the evaluator to develop sound and fair judgment. So it is very significant that we have our criteria. Okay? If we are evaluating a text or performance, we need to provide our criteria. Now, you are expected to establish a sense of objectivity in evaluating a picture, text, and or performance using a set of criteria. So once again, that is our objective. Now, examine the painting or picture. What can you say about it? Once again, let us examine the painting or picture. What can you say about it? Okay. Learning task 1. Using the painting or picture, answer the questions in your notebook. Number 1. What specific features of painting or picture are manifested? I will repeat number 1. What specific features of painting or picture are manifested? Number 2. What do you think is the painter's inspiration in his or her masterpiece? I will repeat number 2. What do you think is the painter's inspiration in his or her masterpiece? Third, what message is portrayed by the painting or picture? I will repeat. What message is portrayed by the painting or picture? Number 4, what positive points are manifested in the painting or picture? Once again, number 4, what positive points are manifested in the painting or picture? And number 5, how can the painter still improve this painting or picture? Again, number 5, how can the painter still improve this painting or picture? So we will be showing you again the picture or the painting. Kindly examine this one and answer the questions. First question, second question, third question, fourth question, fifth question. There you have it. Now, learning task 2. Now, read the lyrics of the song titled To Love Again. What's the title of the song? To Love Again. There have been a number of renditions of this song. Two of the famous versions are those of Vanya Castor and Daryl Ong. Listen to their renditions and assess their similarities and differences using the questions below. Write your answers in your notebook. Once again, you are to read the lyrics of the song titled To Love Again. And we have two famous versions here. Now, this is the link. To Love Again by Vanya Castor. The link. And To Love Again by Daryl Ong. This is also the link. This is the copy of the song. To Love Again. I will repeat. You are to listen to their renditions and you have to assess their similarities and differences using the questions below. So once again, here's the link and another one. Okay? And the lyrics. First question. How do the two differ in terms of expressing emotions portrayed in the song? I will repeat number 1. How do the two differ in terms of expressing emotions portrayed in the song? Number 2, for you, which rendition is more relevant and charismatic? I will repeat. For you, which rendition is more relevant and charismatic? Number 3, which of the two has better vocal quality and voice range? I'll repeat. Which of the two has better vocal quality and voice range? Number 4, which rendition portrays better intonation, diction, and enunciation? I will repeat number 4. Which rendition portrays better intonation, diction, and enunciation? Now, evaluating and making judgments. In making judgments, it is necessary that evaluators form the sense of objectivity. Again, what is that sense? Yes, sense of objectivity. Being objective means being fair. Again, being objective means being fair. There is no presence of bias. Personal feelings are detached from the act of judgment. Giving judgment vary from images, media, text, and images. Judging these complex works or performances becomes easier with the help of criteria. So once again, it is very significant that we have the criteria. And these criteria guide the evaluators on the scope and limitation of what to judge or examine. Basically, criteria are a set of standards and or principles considered in judging a particular work, output, or performance. They may vary depending on the what is to be judged or evaluated. That is, criteria in evaluating an essay may be different in evaluating a song. Don't forget that. Okay? Criteria are set of standards and or principles considered in judging a particular work, output, or performance. The singular form of criteria is criterion. Okay? Once again, singular, criterion. Criteria is plural. Alright? The most common indicators in evaluating a text include the following. Okay, number one, the content. Two, cohesion. Three, grammar. Four, mechanics. Five, word choice. And six, tone. Will you please repeat the indicators in evaluating a text? Thank you. Now, let us read the meaning of the content. Content refers to the idea, concept, focus, or details of the subject matter as discussed in text. That is the meaning of content. Number two, cohesion. When we say cohesion, it refers to the connection and organization of words, phrases, ideas, and concepts presented in the text. Okay? And when we say grammar, it deals with fluency and accuracy in terms of language structure and facility. And when we say mechanics, the meaning of this, accuracy in punctuations and capitalization. Okay? And number five, word choice. When we say word choice, it deals with appropriateness of words, especially in terms of depth and level of formality. And last, tone. Tone refers to the emotion or feelings attached as expressed by the text. So we have these six indicators. Though there are still other points to consider in evaluating texts, these six indicators are the most common criteria used. Learning task 3. Read and examine the poem written by Jose Lavilla Tierra, a famous poet hailed from Atimonan, Quezon. Then, answer the questions that follow. Write your answers in your notebook. And here's the picture of Jose Lavilla Tierra. Okay? The title of the poem is Ballad of a Mother's Heart. I will read this. The night was dark, for the moon was young, and the stars were asleep and rare. The clouds were thick, yet youth went out to see his maiden fair. Dear one, he pleaded as he knelt before her feet in tears. My love is true. Why have you kept me waiting all of these years? The maiden looked at him unmoved, it seemed, and whispered low, persistent youth, you have to prove by deeds your love is true. There's not a thing I would not do for you, beloved, said he. Then go, said she, to your mother dear and bring her heart to me. Without another word, Youth left and went to his mother dear, and opened her breast and took her heart. He did not shed a tear. Then back to his maiden fair he ran, unmindful of the rain. But his feet slipped and he fell down, and loud he groaned with pain. Still in his hand he held the prize that would win his maiden's hand, and he thought of his mother dear, so kind, so sweet, so fond. And then he heard a voice, not from his lips, but all apart. Get up, it said. Were you hurt, child? It was his mother's heart. Ballad of a Mother's Heart by Jose Lavilla Tierra. Number one. What significant characteristics of a mother are described in the poem? I will repeat number one. What significant characteristics of a mother are described in the poem? Number two. How is the mother's heart measured in the poem? I'll repeat. How is the mother's heart measured in the poem? Number three. How will you relate the context of the poem to your own mother? I will repeat. How will you relate the context of the poem to your own mother? Number four, what do you think is the reason why La Villa Tierra titled his work as such? What's the title? Ballad of a Mother's Heart. What do you think is the reason why he titled his work as such? Now, learning task 4. Evaluate the poem above using the criteria below. Write your answers in your notebook. So we have the indicators and we have your observations and explanations. What are the 6 indicators here? We have the content, cohesion, grammar, mechanics, word choice, and the tone. Go ahead. I will repeat the instructions. You will evaluate the poem above using the criteria here. Okay? Now, learning task 5. Read and examine the speech of Nelson Mandela. Then, answer the questions that follow. Write your answers in your notebook. This is the speech. By the way, this is the picture of Nelson Mandela. Who is Nelson Mandela? Who is Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela? Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid or apartheid, both are acceptable, revolutionary, political leader and philanthropist who served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid or apartheid, both are acceptable, by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliation. Ideologically, an African nationalist and socialist, he served as the president of the African National Congress or the ANC party from 1991 to 1997. So that is Nelson Mandela. On Fighting Poverty by Nelson Mandela. As long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. We shall never forget how millions of people around the world joined us in solidarity to fight the injustice of our oppression while we were incarcerated. Those efforts paid off and we are able to stand here and join the millions around the world in support of freedom against poverty. Massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourges of our times. Times in which the world boasts breathtaking advances in science, technology, industry, and wealth accumulation. We live in a world where knowledge and information have made enormous strides, yet millions of children are not in school. We live in a world where the AIDS pandemic threatens the very fabric of our lives. Yet, we spend more money on weapons than on ensuring treatment and support for the millions infected by HIV. It is a world of great promise and hope. It is also a world of despair, disease, and hunger. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. The steps that are needed from the developed nations are clear. The first is ensuring trade justice. I have said before that trade justice is a truly meaningful way for the developed countries to show commitment to bringing about an end to global poverty. The second is an end to the debt crisis for the poor countries. The third is to deliver much more aid and make sure it is of the highest quality. On Fighting Poverty by Nelson Mandela. Number one, what are the three major problems identified by Mandela? Once again, what are the three major problems identified by Mandela? Number two, why do you think Mandela deals with these three problems as personal issues? Number three, what pandemic was mentioned by Mandela? Has the world overcome this health crisis? I will repeat. What pandemic was mentioned by Mandela? Has the world overcome this health crisis? And number four, how can the world overcome poverty? I'll repeat number four. How can the world overcome poverty? And number five, what possible steps can be undertaken to overcome poverty? Again, what possible steps can be undertaken to overcome poverty? And explain this line. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. I will repeat. Explain this line. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. Learning Task 6. Evaluate the speech above using the criteria below. Write your answers in your notebook. I will repeat. You are to evaluate the speech. And how about the criteria? We have the first column for the indicators, then your observations and or explanations. What can you say about the content, cohesion, grammar, mechanics, word choice, and the tone? Oh, who's this? Who's this? Mom Janan? No, it's not Mom Janan. Okay? Who's that? You are correct. Catriona Elisa Magnayon Gray. Who is Catriona Gray? She is a Filipino-Australian model, singer, and beauty pageant title holder who was crowned Miss Universe 2018. She's the fourth Filipina to win the Miss Universe competition. Previously, Gray was crowned Miss Universe Philippines 2018 and Miss World Philippines 2016. Okay, that is Catriona Gray. Learning Task 7. Are you familiar with the Miss Universe competition? Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray set a clear landmark with her performance during its 2018 edition. Read the final question and their final answers during the contest. Compare and contrast their answers by completing the diagram below. Here's the question. What is the most important lesson you've learned in your life? And how would you apply it to your time as Miss Universe? The video may be accessed at this link. Go ahead. What is the answer of Miss Venezuela? I grew up in a family filled with women, and each one of them taught me something very important. But what I always remembered is that by working hard and chasing for our dreams, and by having courage and strength and willingness to achieve these dreams, we can achieve anything you want in this lifetime. And tonight, I am proving this. I am here at Miss Universe. How about South Africa? Throughout my life, I've been exposed to both those who are privileged and underprivileged. And what I've learned is that we are all human. We all want to be loved. We all want to belong. And we all want to be seen. So we should treat each other that way. Thank you. And now, what about Miss Philippines? What was the answer of our very own Miss Catriona Gray? I worked a lot in the slums of Tondo, Manila, and the life there, it's poor and it's very sad. And I've always taught myself to look for the beauty in it, to look in the beauty in the faces of the children, and to be grateful. And I would bring this aspect as a Miss Universe to see situations with a silver lining and to assess where I could give something, where I could provide something as a spokesperson. And if I could teach also people to be grateful, we could have an amazing world where negativity could not grow and foster, and children would have a smile on their faces. Now, here's the Venn diagram. What can you say about the answer of Miss Venezuela? How about the answer of Miss South Africa? And the last, what can you say about the answer of Miss Philippines? Now, learning task 8. Evaluate the answers above using the criteria below. Write your answers in your notebook. So let us evaluate the answers of the three. So we have the first column, indicators, then the second column, observations or explanations. What are the indicators? Content, cohesion, grammar, mechanics, word choice, and tone. Now, our references. Of course, our Pivot for a Learner's Material, English 10, Quarter 1, and the websites. Do you have questions? If you have questions, you can use the comment section. Go ahead. It is my honor to entertain your questions. Good job. Handang isip, handa bukas. Sama-sama sa pagsulong ng edukalidad. I am Miss Jan-Ann-Rey V. Consignado, and please subscribe to our channel. Next week, I will be uploading again our lesson. Once again, please subscribe. Thank you. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Bye bye.